Bright and early. Good morning, Levi.
Good morning, Cole. It
How
was
are
good to
you?
ride with you yesterday.
Yeah, it was good. It was really nice. That was a good ride. Aside from all the traffic around Lake Tahoe, man,
I
it's getting
know,
bad.
dude, and the construction is like I've never.
Oh,
I mean, it's always there's construction every summer, but this year is like next level.
yeah, man, it's crazy.
It
The
is.
po
Like,
and then
it's
the
in like
pollen
the
this year.
same parts of the road.
Yeah, I know. Every year it's in the same spot. It's like
Yeah,
how can this be possible?
it's just poor organization. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the pollen. The pollen's over now, but it was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad this year.
Yeah, huge swaths of yellow in the lake.
Yeah. You would just see it like a little gust of wind would come and it would just like a whole sheet would just come
Yeah,
over the it's
I saw
horrible.
that.
Yeah. Wow. Alright, well, let's jump into, I guess, debriefing how nationals went.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw how hard you worked and how much you wanted that time trial. And coming off of last year, you under 23 champion, but you were what 2 seconds behind Artem Smith,
Yeah, I think it was, like, maybe 5 or 6 seconds or something like that, pretty close.
and he won the elites. You won the under 23, but it was the same course, same day.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, I don't know if like you obviously maybe you're hours apart, but did the wind change? Like, did that
I
have any
think
factor?
I think it was, like, an hour apart or
Okay,
something.
so normal TT spread.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is you were super close, which obviously anyone would be like, "Oh my god, I can win elites." That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering why we worked really hard, but I mean, you pick it up from there. What happened?
Yeah. Oh, man, where do I start? So, I mean, yeah, obviously, I felt pretty good in training. I had like some bad days in training, but that's kind of normal, at
Yeah,
least for me. Like, not every day's like a great day where I have good legs. Like even the bad days in the interval sessions, I felt like I was able to like push through and I finished all the efforts and it was like at the low end of the range of what we wanted to hit. Like it wasn't at the top end of the range or exceeding expectations. It was on the low end of the range, but I was I would count those as bad days because I didn't the sensations weren't good, whatever. But I didn't pay much attention to it because it's normal for me. And then yeah, travel went really smoothly. I told myself that I was gonna go like all in like, on every aspect, and I'm a pretty big guy, so, like, an economy seat on a plane is, like, quite uncomfortable, like, my legs do not feel good after that, so I, like, paid $700 to get, like, a first class seat upgrade, and I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna have any excuses, I'm gonna, like, have a nice travel day, it's gonna be chill." So, I travel went smoothly, I got there, everything was my bikes made it, everything was good, low stress. First couple days there, I felt great, like, acclimating to the low elevation. And then, yeah, the day before the TT, we did, like, the openers, felt great. I was, like, super stoked, I was like, "This is gonna go great." And then the next day, like, man, like, the warm-up, I didn't feel that great on the warm-up, but I was on a trainer, like, you warm up on a trainer before a TT for, like, 30 minutes, and, like, it's obviously a lot harder to push power on a trainer than it is out on the road. So I didn't feel, like, super great on the trainer, but I also didn't feel really bad, like, I was hitting all my numbers that I normally hit for the progression and then how I do the warm-up, whatever, so, like, the sensations weren't great, but I didn't pay much attention to it, like, I was in race mode, I was things weren't in my head. I was kinda, like, in a clear mind space, and then, yeah, we had to get off 20 minutes before the TT to head over and do bike check and everything, so did that. And this is 20 minutes in between finishing the warm up and uh, starting. And yeah, I walked over there, sat, had ice, had fluids going, everything was great. Like, was just sitting there and focusing on my breathing and getting in a good mind space, headspace. And then yeah, as soon as I started the TT, like the first couple of pedal strokes, normally in a TT for me, especially when you've done bicarb and everything, like you really kind of want to hold back in the first because in the first 5-10 minutes or whatever because you normally I don't feel my legs like I can be
and
going and looking down and it feels like I'm doing 300 watts but I'm doing like 500 and so you kinda wanna, like, keep a little bit of a leash on it at the start so you don't overcook yourself. But I didn't have that sensation right off the start. Like, my legs felt super heavy, and I was, like, kinda struggling to push the power that I wanted to sustain for the whole TT. So, like, already I was like, "Oh, fuck, Jesus, what's" hopefully I'll open up, like, maybe this is just, like, the first 5 minutes, I'm just a little bit, like, bogged down, but I'll open up after the first turnaround. So I did my race power to the first turnaround, I flip it, and, like, I get back up to speed out of the turnaround, and, like, trying to hold the race power was so hard. It just felt horrible. Um, so it was kind of like a downward the whole TT, I was just, like, really suffering and struggling to stay on top of the gear, and, in the training and everything, and in the days before, I felt super comfortable on the bike, in the position, like, super stable, and then on the race day, like, felt like my tires were pumped up to like 100 PSI. Like every little bump I hit, it would like throw me off, and I
Mhm.
would like and I was like shuffling back and forth on the saddle. Like I was just all out of sorts and just like really struggling to get the power out and not being fluid and stable on the bike. So yeah, I ended up like almost 50 watts off what I wanted to hit. So it was a pretty bad day for me. It like Yeah, I did like 375 average and I wanted to do like 420 average. So, um, yeah, it was not a good day, but so I was pretty disappointed, obviously. But I thought I figured something was wrong, but I didn't know what because that was like even on my bad days in training at altitude, I was doing similar, if not more power to that on a full race sim course. So obviously something was wrong. Finished the TT, was pretty bummed, got back to, like, the setup where we had our tent and everything, took my recovery shake and had a Coke and some water, and then quickly headed back to my hotel to get some proper lunch after a shower, and while I was making my lunch post-shower, post-shower, this is like an hour post-race finish now, uh, like, I started shivering really bad while I was, like, making my lunch, and then it came on super quick. It was, like, slow shivering, but I wasn't really paying any attention to it. I was like, "Oh, I'm just cold," because the ACs are going a lot in the room. And, I was also shivering a little bit that morning too in breakfast, but, like, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt in, like, a 65-degree room, so I figured that was just normal. And
Which
then, yeah, shivering turned into, like, not being able to hold my plate, and, like, I was, like, spilling my food on the ground, and Ezra, my teammate, was in there, and, I was like, "Bro, can you help me bring this to my room? I need to get in my room and, like, get under the sheets right now. I'm freezing cold." And, like, as I was, like, trying to book it to my room, I got, like, pretty nauseous and was, like, shivering so bad. And then, yeah, I had, like, a 102 plus fever for, like, 6 hours and was, like, shaking uncontrollably, and it was, like, my muscles were, like, spasming, and it was more than, like, shivering. It was, like, my body was, like, not having a good time. So yeah, I must have like picked up a virus or something, maybe the night before or that morning or something. Because yeah, I was pretty bad that whole day, and then my fever broke, and I was able to get a good night's sleep. But
yeah.
yeah, clearly I got something that threw me off my game a bit that day, which is kind of honestly a hard pill to swallow because it's like, how bad can my luck be? Like for me to get something so detrimental to my race on the day of the race or the day before the race. It's frustrating.
Sounds like it was just it, like, came and went so fast.
Yeah, and that's what's hard to wrap my head around because we still couldn't really figure out what it was because it came and went so fast. Like it was no more than 12 hours of feeling bad. And
You
then
heard
like
that
I had to
like that before?
I've never had anything like that before.
Mm,
I haven't had a fever in so long. Like
mhm,
flu, I haven't had a flu in years. Haven't thrown up in years. I get colds like everybody else, but I don't really get super sick that often.
mhm.
And this was weird. Like it was scary how, like, quick the fever came. It was and we were like, "Did I get was it heat stroke?" But it was like the weather was quite nice. It was like 75 degrees on race day, and I'd been doing heat training for, uh, months, over a month after, or pre-nationals, so there's no way that it was, heat related. Um, yeah, I honestly have no idea what it was, but
Okay, well, so that's what happened. And just maybe quickly to touch on the road race before we go a little deeper, but
yeah.
I watched the road race and you guys, modern adventure, you rode exactly the way you should have, super aggressive, like never let up, always had like one or two guys off the front, um, never working with the big favorites like Kevin and Quinn.
Mhm.
Obviously, that's the right thing to do. And I saw you were super aggressive, so you recovered well.
Yeah, I think I I recovered well from whatever happened. The only thing that's weird is I normally, like, never cramp, or if I do, it's after a long day, like 4 plus hours into a race, and it's been racing really hard, and I'll feel a little bit of cramps coming on, but after 2 hours, and granted everybody most people that I talked to were cramping in this race just because it was, like, 85 degrees and 90% humidity. It was tough conditions, but I was on top of my fluids pre-race, like 2 days out, I was drinking lots of fluids with electrolytes, and then on race day, during the race, I was drinking, 2 bottles an hour, so like a liter an hour with mix, and my gels had electrolytes, so I was, like, fully on top of everything, and 2 hours in, I was, like, fully cramping, where my legs, like, I couldn't even turn the pedals over. Um, so that's a bit odd, like, that never really happens to me, but nonetheless, um, yeah, I recovered from whatever happened on the TT, I think, and, I just went into the race wanting to commit fully to the team plan, and if it's not me winning, I want it to be one of my teammates winning, so I did everything that I could in the time that I was in the race, to put my teammates in a good position and also to put myself in a good position. We were attacking from the start, trying to get in breakaways, and we got in a really good move. Um, I think it was one of the first moves of the day. There was maybe like 10 guys, and we had 3 of or some really strong riders in there. And unfortunately, for some reason, Will Barda, like, was having some issues, I think. And so he, like, fully committed to just, like, sacking his race for, Larry. So he, like, did a death pull and, like, pulled that group all the way back. They had probably, like, a 45-second gap by this point, and he just, like, got on the front and just motored it back and then pulled out, and this was, like, 45, 50 minutes into the race already.
Mhm.
And then from then on, it was just us trying to get up the road, and yeah, then, like, maybe an hour and a half in or 2 hours in, I can't remember, but I jumped I jumped into a move with, Robin, and it was just the 2 of us. I wish we had a couple more guys, but nonetheless, it was a good move to get into because in my head, I was thinking that behind, it should only be Kevin and Quinn working and maybe Larry. But in the end, I guess there were multiple other kids pulling on the front to try and bring it back, which I don't understand. I don't know why you would ever wanna work with those guys when you know they're just gonna drop you and you're just helping them. But anyways, yeah, so we ended up getting like a 2-minute gap, and this was normally these types of efforts is like what I'm built for. I love being up the road, and if that's kind of when I was visualizing and imagining myself winning the title this year in the road race, it was all the scenarios that I could think of were me being up the road and having Kevin or Quinn or both of them coming up to me or them being alone and chasing me, and it was just like a 3-up time trial, who could get to the line first. So I was really happy in the situation that I was in 'cause we had 2 minutes up the road, and seemingly I didn't hear in the radio who was pulling behind, but, uh, I was thinking that maybe it would just be Kevin and Quinn and maybe Larry, but Larry was, like, on a bad day, but he just kept, like, coming back, coming back, coming back, and as everybody got tired, he stayed the same, and so he rode a great race, but I didn't think he was gonna be pulling, to be honest, behind because he was suffering from the first lap. Um, but yeah, so then, like, halfway through this effort with Robin, we're like I think we were away for maybe 3 laps, and after, like, a lap and a half, my lights kinda just went out, and I went from being able to pull through at, like, 370 really comfortably and riding the climbs over 400 to struggling to pull at, like, 320 on the flats and then just suffering and cramping up the climbs. Um, it kind of felt like a bonk, but it was just my legs, like, every time I would try and push hard on the climb, I would, like, feel a cramp coming on, and so if you know how cramps feel, which I'm sure most people do, it's like you you get to this point where you can, like, just ride hard enough where the cramps aren't cramping, but if you go any harder and get out of the saddle, like, you fully cramp. So I
Right.
was kind of on that limit, and that limit obviously wasn't fast enough at all. So then Quinn, I think, attacked up the main climb of the day and passed us, and then I hopped onto group 2, and we came back together on the river road, and I was just hanging on for dear life at that point. Uh, and then yeah, and then I got dropped, and then I rode a lap, and then they pulled me. But I got prorated, so no DNF on pro cycling stats. So that's honestly my big takeaway from the week is that I didn't get any letters on the board. So that's good. Still a perfect season on PCS. No DNFs yet. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, all right, we've covered, the race and what happened. I
Yeah.
saw you yesterday, and it was pretty clear that you weren't your normal Cole,
Mm.
bubbly, outgoing self. You were definitely down, and that's totally fine. Like, you really wanted that time trial, and it didn't go your way. I'm just curious if you would like to kind of share, like, internally what's been going on for you since the TT and your that disappointment. Like, have you have you noticed, like, has it been kind of, is there like a critical voice inside your head about it, or do you feel like it was all for nothing? Like, what kind of what are the stories going on?
Yeah. Well, initially, it was that kind of feeling of I just did all that work. I worked as hard as I possibly could and focused on every detail possible for over a month at altitude. Like, okay, I got to be with my family and my girlfriend, so that's a plus. Like, a lot of times you don't get to be that lucky and you're on top of Tenerife for a month or whatever, and you crash first day of the tour. Like, I can imagine that is worse than how I was feeling, but I was feeling similar in the sense that I worked my ass off and did and sacrificed a lot to be in the best shape that I could be, and then it all went to shit. And, you feel sad for yourself. You're like, "Why me?" Like, and some this might be a negative feeling, but you in the moment when you're feeling shit after the race, you, like, hate to see the success of other people. Like, I was, like, upset seeing other guys doing well. Eh, not my teammates, but, like, the guys that I was racing against, like, the guy who won. I
Right.
was like, "Fuck, that should have been me." Like, I could have done that. I know I could have done that, and you feel sad for yourself, and you feel upset, and you're like, "I wish I had that success today," or whatever, and but then I talked to you, and I felt like it was all for nothing. Like, I felt like everything that I did was for nothing and that like, it's all to shit now, whatever. Like, I'm gonna have to do the same thing again next year or whatever. But then you messaged me and told me that, like, you kinda, like, reframed my mindset a little bit in the sense that all that work wasn't for nothing and that you, like, hold on to all that training, and it'll come to use maybe sooner rather than later. Like, whether it's next year that I have all that experience riding the TT bike so many days and doing all those efforts, or if it's just the fitness that I'll have after this, uh, block of whatever illness I had and I recover in the next race that I do, maybe I'll hold on to that fitness and I'll do really well. So that kinda helped reframe my mindset a little bit in that it wasn't all for nothing, and maybe it's not now, but it'll be sometime in the future, whether near or far. So that was good, and I appreciated that. Um, but I still have or had this, like it's hard to shake, but it's just like,
Yeah.
why?
I
Like,
mean, I think the biggest takeaway is the experience of it all, of, like, preparing for the time trial. You you obviously got really attached to the result, like, you wanted to win and you were, like, attached to that, and that totally makes sense, and I think the going through that and having that experience for next time, it's like, "Okay, I'm gonna work that hard, and, you know, I don't deserve to win. I'd like to win, but I'm still gonna work that hard." That's a fine line, and it's a balance, and you do, I think over time you learn the process, or you learn to love the process of working really hard, and then you just kinda have to let go of any expectations, and that the irony of that is it actually frees you up. It gives you more energy because you're not as stressed, you're not as attached to something that's out of your control, because it is out of your control. You can't control the other guys. Like, some days you're gonna be your best ever, and you're still gonna lose because
yeah,
you're going up against somebody who's just better, and there's
yeah,
gonna always be somebody better. So,
yeah,
it's just about you and what you can do.
yeah. I guess I can totally see that point of view for a road race. Like, there's a lot of things that you can't control in a road race. So if you get crashed out or if something happens, it's out of your control. But the one of the reasons why I love a TT is most variables are within your control to a certain extent.
Except for the
And
other
s
guys.
yeah, except for the other guys, but it wasn't that the other guys, I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe everything had gone perfect that day, and I still wouldn't have done how I wanted to do. I still wouldn't have won,
Mhm.
which is completely possible. I mean, a lot of those guys are really, really fast. But I also thought
In
that,
which case,
like,
you'd probably be okay with that too.
I think I would be more okay with that
Yeah.
because I did everything that I did from A to Z was in my control, and I just didn't have it on the day, and that I can live with. That's fine because that will fuel my fire for next year to work even harder and harder to
Uh-huh.
make up those lost seconds and to hopefully win a TT. But when you just don't feel yourself and you feel so bad on the day that you worked so hard for, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And and I think it's getting easier as the days go on to just let that be in the past and to move on. But I mean, because to be honest, cycling is ups and downs, and that's probably going to happen to me
Yeah.
10 more times in my career if I'm lucky,
Yeah.
only 10 more times.
I get that.
So,
Like, I it reminds me of, the first time trial in the 2006 Tour de France. Like, I was just terrible. Like, I lost minutes, and I
mm,
can't tell you why.
yeah,
The weirdest thing ever, and you do, like, you lose your confidence. I'm like, I can't time trial anymore after just one bad time trial, like, that's pretty silly, right? But that is
yeah.
what you think in your head.
Yeah, it is weird, and maybe as time goes on, I will realize that I'm being irrational, but in
Mm,
the moment then and still it's trickling a little bit now, it's like it does a little bit knock your confidence because it's like, I just did all this training, I, like, trained specifically for this event, and I just I was not good. I don't
yeah.
know why. The whole week there, I wasn't good, not even in the road race, so it's odd, but,
I think
that's life.
I think it's a test, like, you really wanted to win this time trial, and it's just say, like, the universe is like, "Okay, let's see how bad you really wanna win. We're gonna give you
Yeah,
this day,
mm,
like, what happens in the future? Can you come back from this? Like,
yeah.
do you really deserve to win, or do you deserve to have, like, the best day possible, and even if you
Yeah,
don't win, it's still an amazing performance?
yeah. No, it humbles you for sure.
Because
It
that's cycling right there, man. Like, I mean, how many times do people win? Normal people, let's not talk about
yeah,
dying or whatever.
yeah.
Like, you win one race a year, like, that's
Once a year if you're
yeah,
one of the best. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
It's
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 really
tough.
about plugging along.
Yeah. But I have to say, aside from me, the guys did really well on the team at nationals. I was really happy to see how they all rode, and the guys who did the time trial were impressive, Ezra and Tyler, and then everybody in the road race rode their ass off, which was super cool to
Yeah.
see, and it was fun to be a part of, putting pressure on those big guys and making them stress for a little while. But
Mhm.
yeah, once you get into that late stage of the race, the fatigue resistance of guys who've done a grand tour and stuff, that really comes into play, so,
Exactly. I mean, it's pretty hard to compete with these guys that are doing world tour races day in, day out
yeah,
because in the last part of the race, that's where just the separation happens for sure.
yeah. But it's fun to see that we're only a couple percentage points off those guys, so I feel like once maybe next year when we get a really thick race program and everybody's racing a lot over in Europe at the highest level and maybe we do a grand tour, we'll definitely take that step up and then be
Yeah,
super, super competitive, so
sure.
that's fun, that's
Yeah.
fun.
It definitely galvanizes you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Do you wanna do a little bit of a do you wanna keep touching on the TT and
Um,
any more
no, I
questions?
mean, I mean, obviously, let's just talk about how you feel in your body. Like you were feeling down and a little bit dark.
Mm.
Has it gotten any better? Like, do you feel a little lighter? Does this help talking about it?
Yeah, it does help talking about it, and also helps being back home and
Yeah.
seeing my girlfriend and my family again, and, like, cause you also, like, you kinda lose a little bit of, like, self-worth or I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe it's just me, but, like, sometimes when things don't go my way or I get a big hit, uh, you wonder if which is, like, also irrational, but it's just kinda how my mind plays. It's like, are people still looking at me the same?
Mm.
Like, you care for some reason what other people think about you. You're like, "Oh, do people think I suck now? Like,
Yeah.
do do I suck? Uh, like, am I gonna be good at TTs again? Am I washed? Do people think I'm washed?
Yeah.
Did I let my family down?" Because that's also a big thing. I felt really bad that my parents came out and, they were there for the week, you know, because the TT's far from the road race. TT's on Tuesday, road race is on Sunday. You're in, like, this I'm not gonna say it
Yeah.
because you're in Charleston, West Virginia. It's not home.
Yeah.
You're far away, and it's expensive to come out. My parents had to get a hotel for a week,
Mhm.
you know, flights, everything. It's on Father's Day, uh, I just felt like I let the people around me down, and then also the team, you know, they invested in me. They sent me straight after Roubaix, I flew to Phoenix and did some time trial testing and stuff and for a few days there, and that was covered by the team, and I was really grateful for that. They invested in me because they wanted me to do my best at nationals, and
Mhm.
they let me instead of being over in Europe and racing in Europe, they let me come home and do an altitude camp so, I just felt like this burden of pressure that
Yeah.
I needed to, you know, at least do a good ride so that they would be happy, but then when shit hit the fan, I felt like I let everybody down and everything, but
Mhm.
I think that was just pressure maybe I was putting on myself and not the actual case.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, those are kind of the feelings that you feel after a tough day.
Yeah, and that's all valid and it's real, and, it all makes sense when you lay it out like that. I mean, I was there in that exact same position. I totally relate to that,
Yeah,
and it is hard to be inside yourself, and your brain is going crazy. It's your all these thoughts are coming in. It doesn't mean it's true at all, but sometimes it's like you're listening to your mind and your thoughts, and you start to believe it, and it can get a little bit out of control unless you try to, like, reset. But I can tell you, like, from my perspective, your parents were just happy to be there with you and share that experience with you because that experience is just as meaningful as it is to go and win. Like, of course,
yeah,
they want you to be happy and win, but they just wanna be with you for sure. And then,
yeah,
I know that, like, George and Bobby, for example, dude, they've been down this road. They've been in your shoes, like, they get it. It's like you train hard, you invest in the in you went to Phoenix and did that time trial testing, like, you invest everything, but it's not never a guarantee, and it doesn't mean that it won't pay off in the future. Like,
yeah,
it's all a process, and it's not just 1 month, man, it's years.
yeah. Yeah, so that was kind of also a bit of the mind games that I was playing on myself for that week, so,
Yeah.
but I definitely feel lighter now and, like, that's just cycling, man. You're gonna go through tough times, but it's just how you bounce back, and if you keep chugging along and keep charging forward,
Yeah.
sooner or later, it's gonna pay off.
And this has made you better and stronger than, you know, than you think
Yeah. No, so
right now.
I look forward to next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully do a bit of a better ride, so
Yeah, do you wanna talk about, like, what, Tour de France, Tour of Switzerland,
Yeah,
Dauphiné, or
well, yeah,
whatever,
we can
Rhone
talk
now?
about Tour de Suisse.
Yeah,
Did you watch every day there?
I did, I watched every day.
Yeah, it's impressive, Pogačar,
I mean, the
man.
first day was, like, crazy, 70K to go.
I don't know how he does that. He just rides away from everybody 70 Ks to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it just
that's unreal.
never looked like he was really, like, digging deep, you know? It's just kinda like he's
Just
focused.
training.
Yeah, it's just, like tempo.
Yeah,
Like
it's,
like us going around
unreal.
the lake yesterday, just nice hard tempo, but, like, not really suffering, like but it
You were doing tempo?
well, okay, I went hard up climbs, but
You
we were
did, you were
doing
going hard up
tempo.
some of those climbs.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's
No, but yeah, I mean, he really does. Once he gets that gap, he can set his zone 2, I guess I mean, he said it on that
yeah.
Peter Attia podcast or whatever. His zone 2 is like 340 watts, and I guess if he just sits into 340, nobody can bring it back.
Yeah, I think he's well, I don't know, what obviously there's different zone,
Yeah, like his fat max or whatever it is.
yeah, but tempo, like, pretty good hard tempo for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, Tour de France looks like he's obviously the odds-on favorite.
Mhm.
Um, what do
Starts
you
with a TTT.
Yeah,
They might lose a lot of time the first day though,
I think that'd
because
be great for us to watch.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but there's an uphill finish pretty quickly, right? Stage 3 or something? But anyway, it's gonna be exciting right from the beginning.
Mhm.
But if we just kinda take a high level look, like, do you th I mean, Vanguard, number 2 for sure, like, is he definitely
Think
better than Del Toro and Seixas?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it might be yeah, it might be closer to 2 and 3 than it will be 1 and 2, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, maybe Pogačar has, like, 8 minutes on Vingegaard by the end of the race,
Huh.
and Vingegaard only has, like, 4 minutes on Del Toro or Seixas or whoever it is.
How do you think, UAE plays it with Del Toro? Does he, like, launch Pogacar, or is it like, "Oh, Tade attacks, you follow Vanguard and just stay with him?"
Gosh, I don't know. They have so much mountain support with McNulty as well, like, McNulty can already do that crazy pace where nobody's on the wheel and, like, because Pogačar loves that, like, 5-minute, like, crazy burst from the guy in front, and then he just, like, takes off and rides his tempo. I feel like McNulty can already play that role, and maybe Vingegaard is, like, that secret 2nd player role where he just kinda hangs on to Vingegaard and demoralizes him a bit.
Del Toro.
But I or yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Um, or they just do a mountain train and they use Del Toro how they normally should, and he's that last mountain domestique.
Well, then Seychelles is there, and if he's good, I see him staying with Vanguard.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we'll
I
see
don't
over
know.
3 weeks. I don't know about 3 weeks.
Yeah, maybe the
Oh.
first mountain day, but I don't know. I feel like Vingegaard is still, like Pogačar's 2 levels above everybody, and Vingegaard's a level above everybody, I
Yeah.
feel like. I mean, he won the Giro easily.
Yeah, I mean, the, Gall's a good rider, obviously, but he was beating guys that they're not gonna win the Tour de France.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's different level. Um,
Yeah, Del Toro looked really good at, Dauphiné.
oh yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm thinking it's not crazy to think that UAE is 1st and 2nd in Paris.
That would be insane. That would be pretty crazy.
I mean,
But I don't know
it's
yeah.
happened before.
When?
Oh, shit, man. La Vie Claire, we've talked about this. It was like 2 years in a row. Kino, Lemond, and then Lemond,
Oh, yeah.
and
Mm.
in '86, it was Lemond, and Andy Hampson in 4th, all on the same
Mm.
team. 1st, 2nd, 4th.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe Sky was the last team to put 2 on the podium.
Yeah, so it would've been Wiggins and Froome and G.
Yeah, Froome and G and Wiggins and Froome
Mhm.
are the
Were
2
they
that I
ever
can
1st
think
and
of.
2nd, or were they always 1st and 3rd?
I think 1st and 3rd.
What about
No?
Bernal
No.
G as well?
Oh, yeah.
When Bernal won, I think G was on the podium.
Yeah, 2019?
Yeah, so Sky did it three different times.
But maybe Froome was 2nd behind Wiggins.
I can't remember, it was my last tour, I don't remember, I was too far behind. Uh,
Was that last did you know that you were kinda coming to the tail end when in that last tour? Like, did you
I kind
was were you just
I kinda figured it was my last tour, yeah.
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 Were you just n you didn't have it anymore, or what was the reason why you
Well,
couldn't
I
be up there?
maybe you forget, but, the whole USADA reason decision was coming.
Oh.
I didn't know that, that would be the last tour because of that, but
Oh, okay.
that was part of it, and also, I don't know, that tour, I was just like, "Man, I'm kinda over this."
Yeah,
I think it was just in the moment, though, I was having a bad tour, I wasn't riding well,
yeah.
um, I got
And
I
you were
I got hit by a car that spring, the day before Pays Basque,
oh, I hear yeah,
fractured my
yeah.
leg, made it back for Tour California, it was not great, I was still top 10, but not great, but then I got 3rd in Tour Swiss, and I was like, "Oh, I'm good," but then it just was, like, too soon, I came back too quick or something,
Mm,
the tour I was flat.
mm. You got hit by that car on the highway, right? You told me this story before, but
Well,
I
it
don't
was
I for
like, yeah, I was out training the day before and, I don't know my way around Bilbao,
yeah. Yeah.
and, all of a sudden there was like I was like the only way to get to this other road was kinda on this, it wasn't like like a pay highway, but it was a pretty big road. I was, like, a little
Mm,
nervous, and I was,
mhm,
like, just getting to the off ramp,
mm.
and this
Smoke
guy,
from
like,
behind.
mowed me down. Yeah, super old guy, like, he was, like, 85 years old. He shouldn't have been driving.
Oh, did you ever get, like, a settlement from that?
No.
Oh, at least in America, you would get paid, you know?
Yeah.
It's it's fucked.
It was, yeah, anyway,
That yeah, that sucks. Do you have PTSD from that a little bit?
I did, actually. It kept playing in my head when I wasn't even I would be doing something else, not thinking about it, and all of a sudden, it was like a movie in my head.
Yeah, that's horrible, I can only imagine. Yeah, that's scary, man, being like, I haven't even gotten well, I'll tell you this, I was
Wait,
doing
hold
this
on a second, because it's funny. Yesterday, when we're riding around the lake, we're in South Lake, right? And every time we go through South Lake, the drivers are aggressive and they're impatient and they're not paying attention.
yeah,
And like we were going through, it was Camp Richardson where the speed limit's really low, and we were dodging those traffic cones because of construction, and those cars were like honking at us because we're like in their way. And that just set me off because I've been hit by a car. And it's
yeah.
like, no, you're first of all, you're speeding and you're like upset that we're in your way, but obviously there's this cone. Anyway, I got triggered.
Yeah, I know, you're a little rage monster behind me, you're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
Yeah. And then Quinn, who was riding with us, for the viewers, he's a national champion Nordic skis. He rides his bike sometimes. He's not that experienced on the bike, and he's just like, "Hey, man, like, don't take it personally." I'm like, "Dude, I am definitely gonna take this personally because they're not behaving correctly. Like,
Yeah,
they're putting us in danger."
mhm.
Sorry to cut you off, but
No, 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 but yeah, no, I haven't been hit by a car, thankfully, but I was doing this group ride with this Factor bike shop down here, Freelap,
Mhm,
um, before national championships a while back, a couple weeks ago, and we were going down headed towards Franktown,
mhm,
like, in Washoe Valley, and this big black SUV fucking smokes us from the side, and his side mirror broke on somebody's back, and then, like,
What?
some of the shrapnel hit me, and, like, this was the closest I've ever been to getting smoked. He comes by us at, like, 70 miles an hour, breaks his mirror on somebody's back, like,
What?
shards are going everywhere, some hit me. He doesn't pull over, obviously, he just keeps going. We all pull over, we call the cops and the fire department come out, we file a claim and everything, but it was crazy close to, like, smoking us. So scary, and, like, there no reason, we were all in the bike lane, in a big group too, like 50 of us, at least, all headed down the road.
Like, the person that got hit with the mirror, are they okay?
They were okay somehow, but the mirror just shattered on them.
Okay, so why can't the cops, like, all they need to do is contact all the dealers and auto body shops for a black SUV that comes
That's what
in
we were
with their mirror replaced.
Yeah, we told them an all blacked out Escalade, a new model with a broken right side mirror. Anywhere in Carson or Reno getting
Yeah.
fixed, like,
Even
that's your guy.
anywhere, like Sacramento, like, it's pretty easy to but, of
Yeah.
course, they're not gonna do that, are they?
No, 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 and you could tell the cops didn't like, they
Yeah,
were
they were
oh
like, "Why are you on the road?"
yeah,
Yeah,
they were like, "You gay Lycra cyclists, what are you
yeah,
doing on the road?" You know?
right.
But it's yeah, that type of stuff is frustrating because these people get away with it, and that's like attempted murder, like, they were obviously trying to hit us because they were laid on their horn and just smoked us going 70 miles an hour. It's like,
That's, like,
I was
next to 395 there, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I was pretty shooken up after that, but, I had, like, 4 hours left to do on my ride, so we kinda just kept going, not thinking about it, but
yeah.
yeah, that type of stuff is scary. And then
Yeah,
you
that's
see
why
all this stuff in the news, like
these new radar lights are so nice, like, it comes up on your head unit, the light, like, activates when it detects the car, like,
mhm,
I mean, it's something. Obviously, it's
yeah,
not foolproof.
yeah. Some of my teammates were saying that, or maybe it was you, I think it was my teammates, that they would rather have a front light than a rear light. Because the front light helps you when people are, like, turning in front of you or whatever, like how T-bones always happen, but, like, a rear light, if some guy is gonna hawk you down, whether he's on his phone or whatever, I don't know if a light can help, but I gotta figure out how to get a front light, like something that mounts under the hammerhead or your computer, 'cause those could be helpful too, but
Yeah, all these companies that are making these radar, like Wahoo and Garmin make these radar rear lights. Do they make
mhm,
a radar front light? I mean, not that you need it on your head unit, but that it can activate when it detects a car, save the battery.
yeah, I don't know. I gotta look into it though.
Yeah,
But yeah, cars are getting scarier, it feels like.
it does.
I don't know. I think when I retire from road cycling, I'm probably just gonna, like, get a gravel bike and a mountain bike and just
Yeah.
ride off-road. 'Cause I don't know. I love road riding and I love, like, the places that it takes you and how far you can go, but at the same time, it's like, it's not worth it like, once you retire, it's almost not worth it anymore.
Well, unless you really love it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, you really love it, but
Yeah,
it's scary still, like, riding around the lake, man,
yeah.
damn.
Well, I mean, yeah, but there's times I'm like, "Hey, Cole, maybe we should, like, not go 50K an hour through South Lake, like, let's back it off a little." Dude, you're bending it through that traffic. I'm like, I'm not
Oh my
there
god.
anymore. I don't know if I ever was, but I definitely don't do that anymore.
Feels calculated in my head when I'm doing it, though.
Also, I noticed that, like, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I know all these little things to do, right? So, like, when we go into a descent, I take the lane because I don't want somebody like all of a sudden the cars next to us, they don't realize how fast we're gonna go. We're going the same speed, and all of a sudden we're going through corners next to a car. I don't want to do that.
Mm,
So I
yeah.
like take the lane and
I thought you wanted to take the lane because you don't want the car to pass us and then slow us down on the descent, which is also, like,
oh
valid.
yeah, that too, but I just don't want to get like pinned
Yeah, I get
on the
pinched, yeah, yeah.
side when we're going the same speed because
Yeah,
I think a lot of times the cars don't expect us to all of a sudden be going as fast or even faster than them.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I
But
just
there was one time where I was like, "Levi, what you just did was so sketchy." Remember there was that we were all stopped because they closed a lane for some construction, oncoming traffic was coming, and
yeah,
then you, like, jumped over the fiber optic line that they were laying or
yeah.
something, and then you just went on to into oncoming traffic.
Well,
And
yeah. I mean,
I
they were
was
going slow because it was so narrow.
they were going
Yeah.
slow, but I
I
was like,
wouldn't do
"Dang."
that if they were going, like, normal speed.
Yeah, no,
I mean, they were going, like,
no.
15 miles an hour. That's fine.
Yeah. Scary. I wish we had some more at least bike paths, you know?
Well, bike paths that were, like, um, wide
Rideable.
and smooth.
Wide.
That one in
S
South Lake with all the root,
Oh, yeah.
obstacles, and you can't
Yeah.
because it's, like, in the shade, and I was, like, trying to leave a gap because I needed to see, and I was, like, all of a sudden you get bucked and you can't
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah. But there's Tahoe's just getting overpopulated. There's too many people everywhere.
It's pretty crowded, yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
know, I
better it's better over by you, though.
it's been so hot recently, I think, like, it must be scorching down in Sacramento and,
Mm,
like, down in the valley, and people
yeah.
just escape up here. But it's
Yeah.
actually been really hot up here too, so
It has been. This at least here in Reno, it's, like, almost 100 degrees.
dude, and what's going on with Europe?
Oh, they're having a big heat wave, aren't they?
Did you see so yesterday I saw a headline that France had its hottest day ever that is, like, nationwide. So it was, like, the number of places that recorded 40 degrees Celsius or above was a record.
Dude.
Yeah. There's,
Good
like
thing it's happening now and not during the tour. Oh my
yeah, well, I
gosh.
mean, I guess we should assume that it'll cool off, but did you see Lael Wilcox had to abandon her around the world record because she was in the middle of the heat wave and, she was doing 16-hour days to stay on track to break the record,
I
and
didn't even know this was happening.
yeah, she left Chicago a few weeks ago.
How do you ride across the ocean?
I mean, you fly, but
Oh,
I'm sure there's, like, some rules about how you do it,
mm,
but I think she started to lose pace against so she has the women's record from 2 years ago.
mhm,
She was trying to get the all-time record,
mm,
and I think across from Chicago to wherever she got on the plane, she was ahead of the record, and then she got to Portugal and started to deal with the heat and started to lose pace, and then
mhm.
eventually she got heat stroke. I mean,
Wow,
obviously 16 hours every day in that heat,
that's horrible.
right? Like, nobody can survive that.
No, no. Yeah, 40 degrees is brutal.
Yeah.
That's like what's that in Fahrenheit? Like over 100 for sure? Like
Yeah,
105?
yeah, yeah. It's, well, the hottest place in France yesterday was 45, and that was 120.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
But
intense. You
yeah,
can't ride a bike in that.
yeah, I mean, I've been seeing all the headlines about this heat wave in Europe. I mean, you saw
Yeah,
even in
fuck.
Switzerland, which
This place was
little
hot.
little farther north, but those it was hot. Those guys
Yeah,
were
yeah.
it
They were
reminded
like
me of a lot of days in the Tour de France in the Alps, like, it was like basically a big, long swimming stage because fans on the side of the road would have those giant, like, 1.5 liter, plastic water bottles.
mm,
We would never drink from them because it's you never know, but
yeah.
you grab those and you just be dumping it on you, and then
Oh,
we'd share it with the riders around us, and you would I mean, over and over and over, you just kept dumping it. It's like your shoes were soaked, your
uh-huh.
socks, like, your chamois was fully soaked all day
Mm.
long for, like, 6
Saddle sores
hours.
galore. Oh.
I don't remember that, but I just remember, like, squish, 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 like,
Yeah.
basically being underwater the whole day.
Ugh, man. Well, I hope it cools down for the guys racing the tour, otherwise that will be miserable.
Yeah,
Because Spain can get hot. Like, I know Girona in the summer
yeah.
can be miserably hot, and this tour starts in Barcelona, and I think what do they do, 3 days in Barca or something?
Well, they do, yeah, the first day is team time trial, and it
Yeah, and
finishes up
then
Montjuic, and then I think the next day is circuits on Montjuic,
yeah,
which is a, traditional stage in
last day of Catalunya.
Catalonia, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty hard, it's not crazy hard, but it'll
It
definitely
with Pogačar there, it'll be a GC day.
Maybe, maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
I mean,
Okay.
it's a lot of energy to spend on a day where if he does go away, he'll gain seconds.
Mm,
So, I think the old Pogačar from, his first few tours, he would have been attacking like crazy, but I think he's getting a little smarter. It's not the
yeah.
day to spend your energy.
No. No. But, okay, before we sign off, do you wanna give some pre-race predictions? There's a maybe we should for our fans, we could have you ever done, Tour de France Tissot Fantasy?
Uh-uh.
Oh, maybe we can do this because you can, like every stage, you can pick the winner, and you pick your team, and you get points for the whole race and whatnot, and you can win by the end, so maybe we can start a Road Tales Tour de France Tissot fantasy thing
So
and
what?
see who wins.
We pick who wins the team time
Y
trial?
Yeah, well, you get a certain yeah, so each stage you pick the winner, but then you also I think for the race, you get a certain amount of points allotted to you, and, like, a Pogačar is, like, 500 points, and you get 1,000, let's say, and so Pogačar is gonna cost you half your points, and then you gotta be strategic of what other riders you wanna pick to score you points through the race,
Oh, this sounds complicated.
but it's fun kinda.
Okay.
So maybe we can do that. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so we'll get that fired up. I'll maybe post that on the socials, so if you're listening and you wanna take part, look out on the Instagram, Road Tales, I'll post about that and how you can join. Um, and yeah, give
Sounds
me yeah, cool. Sounds good.
all right. Talk to you
Sweet.
soon.
Yeah, it was good catching up with you.
Yeah, you too. Later.
Take care.
Bye.